worksheet, and can you each take one for me? So today we're going to continue with our sexual assault and abuse lessons, but today we're going to switch gears a little bit and we're going to work on helping friends out. So on the top of your worksheet, you'll know that there's a sticker. I think smiley face, star. Someone tell me what the last one is? A+. There we go. Can we please get into our respective groups? It should be groups of 3. Smiley face. Yeah. And can someone tell me whichever group has Chris and Johnny? Can you raise your hands just so I can come and tell you more information? Johnny. Johnny. All right. Chris. For your group? For the friend?
Michelle.
For your group?
Oh, that are very awesome. So doesn't know it's very much probably not special.
When you think of a friend, I want you to tell me you
Wow.
So think about the one in the back.
Oh, our father's friend.
Yes, the father's fraud.
So you keep a secret.
I feel like in this situation you don't keep this.
No, I mean, like I said,
I feel like you have to give him advice.
I think Howard, because it sounds like he's young. Maybe he doesn't need
maybe you should just before you like jump to the further, you should try to
You shouldn't keep this secret. But I'm not saying that.
And what time am I done?
5 after.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to keep an eye on it.
Yes or no?
No. Because it's dangerous to like his emotional well-being.
It should. Sorry,
And
Chris.
physical well-being.
I'm editing them. I call it okay. So it should say Michelle. That works. Sorry. I forgot to tell you guys that.
Like just have
Yeah,
Yeah.
listening to her. Like trusting her.
I think that maybe I don't know, see like specific advice that I can give, but
You do a man or 2 left.
yeah.
could always talk to your own parents about it. Get advice from them first.
Who's ever heard it? Immediately thought of a man.
Why wouldn't you?
Alright, so we bring it back together. Would one group like to share? Would you like to go first?
Sure, we will.
Can you give us a little bit of information about
Let
your...
me just read the book.
Sure.
Your friend Chris is spending the afternoon with you and you begin to talk about dating and falling in love. All of a sudden, Chris gets serious and tells you that his father's best friend been coming to the house when no one else is home. Chris says this person has been touching him in ways that are very uncomfortable. Chris doesn't know what to do and makes you promise not to tell anyone.
And is your person a male? No, I told you.
Female?
Female. Alright, so do you think you should keep a secret?
No.
Why?
He said because we don't want it to keep happening to him and he needs to get help so it stops.
But Chris made you promise.
We can't keep his promises though, because he's being put in danger.
You don't think Chris will be ready and want me to be your friend?
Maybe, but we all said that in the long run, I don't think it's.
Everyone agree? Any other things? What do you think would be helpful?
He said to tell authority or to talk to his parents or our parents.
Or counselor in school.
Maybe give him a hotline to talk to somebody.
A hotline? I think that one's good. Do Chris if you told somebody else or the hotline? Like the hotline, I didn't think about that. Anyone else have any ideas for Chris? Because it is a female, right? You're Johnny, right? Anything yours?
Sure. Your friend Johnny, we're a male friend of
Okay.
Johnny's.
Good.
Johnny's spending the afternoon with you and you begin to talk about dating and falling in love. All of a sudden, Johnny gets serious and tells you that his father's best friend has been coming to the house when no one else is home. Johnny says this person has been touching him in ways that are very uncomfortable. Johnny doesn't know what to do and makes you promise not to tell anyone.
Would you keep a secret?
No.
Why?
Because it's dangerous to his emotional and physical well-being.
It's very bright. What do you think would be helpful to Johnny?
Being supportive, like giving him some advice about finding some help and find somebody that he can talk to. Like they said, like a helpline or a counselor or anybody.
Do you think it makes any difference that in both these scenarios we have boys who are being, so the friend is coming over, but we have a girl here and a boy here? Do you think it makes any difference? No? Reply.
They're still his friend, you know, so it shouldn't really matter.
Should it matter about gender? I think I agree. And you have Michelle.
Your friend Michelle is spending the afternoon with you, and you begin to talk about dating and falling in love. All of a sudden, Michelle gets serious and tells you that her father's best friend has been coming to the house when no one else is home. Michelle says this person has been touching her in ways that are very uncomfortable. Michelle doesn't know what to do and makes you promise not to tell anyone.
Secret?
Yeah, we decided that we need to tell someone. We can't keep it a secret. But she's being hurt.
Try to also convince her to like tell somebody, not just like
Talk to herself instead of us.
Sometimes when
Being
like
the one.
you say something, doesn't hold as much weight as the person saying.
What Sal just said, he says that Michelle should tell everyone. He's the first person to say something. Everyone else said that you should be the one responsible. What do you think? Do you think it should be Michelle or the person? He's the first.
I think you should first try to convince Michelle to tell someone, but if she won't, then I think you have to do it yourself.
I think so too. I think it's good. Okay, you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because you don't want to she's your friend and you have to trust what she says and but she should be the one to make the decision. If she doesn't, then you need to do it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Alright, what was the last one? What do you think would be helpful?
Having a friend to talk to, maybe getting her professional help with a counselor, psychiatrist or something.
And like trusting what she says.
That's a big one. Trusting's huge. So when I heard you guys talking about this scenario, and when I came around, I said, make sure you thought about it in the girl's perspective and the boys. And I said in both, I think it was you said, I immediately thought of a boy, a man. Is that, why do we always think that?
So I guess the stereotype is like men are just more aggressive than women.
Men are usually the aggressors in situations like this.
Is that just stereotype or is it
It's
proven?
probably a generalization. What do they say?
You hear it more in the news.
I mean, I just,
If you ever look at if you ever look at pedophiles in your area, we used to have to their staff be listed. You would see most of them.
so, can someone tell me what rules and guidelines are? Just a general definition of the words. Not in the context of this, just.
Just something you follow whatever you're doing.
So, in these scenarios, everyone kind of had the same helpful things, but do you think that you can have some general rules and guidelines for all situations that you could follow? For friends, to help friends out? Yes, Brooke? You agree? Alright, so, can I have a volunteer who would like to be our recorder on the whiteboard and would like to write everything down? Javi, you just get really happy.
I
Would you like to
will.
do it?
I always like to
Elaborated.
Javi.
I can't spell though.
Neither can I, don't worry. So, for this activity, I think it would be beneficial, maybe you can disagree with me, to come up with some general rules and guidelines for situations like these. Agreed? Yes? Everyone agrees with me? Alright, so, Caitlin, you tell me when you are ready.
I'm ready.
Alright. Nope, you're good.
There's a knee, it's okay.
So, I have a list of them, some of the things I thought of, but I'd like to hear what you think would be helpful for friends.
Make sure to listen and like don't judge.
Very good. I have listened carefully and don't judge. Yeah. I had a little wording. Listen carefully.
And don't judge.
Yep.
They were saying always believe them, don't accuse them of lying or anything like that.
Right. Believe your friend. Don't doubt or question them. It's them telling the truth. It's common for someone who is abused to be confused about the details, but this doesn't mean that they're lying.
Well, I guess like ask them what they think they should do next. Like what they think the next step is.
Ask what the next step would be instead of taking it into your own hands. Brooke, do you have one?
Help them if they need it.
Help them talk to someone? Go with them maybe? Sam? Do you have one?
I think they handle a lot of stuff.
Matt, do you have one?
Mine was gonna be the same one Brooke said.
Well,
Help them get to the next person.
because I got a couple more before I start. I think one of the biggest one is don't laugh. Sometimes when you're listening, it's hard not to just burst out with laughter, but this would just destroy their confidentiality and not want to talk to you anymore. Another one, I think I heard when we were talking about the helpful, let your friends know it's not their fault. The abuser, harasser took advantage of them. They didn't do anything to provoke it. Alright, another one. Try not to interrupt or give advice. Sometimes we feel the need when someone's telling us something, we have to interrupt them really quickly and say, this is what you need to do. Anyone know why that might be bad? Have negative effects?
They're not like telling the full story.
Exactly.
If you
might get
interrupt
cut
them,
off.
yeah.
Get cut off, and then you don't hear the whole story. You don't know how it ends, and you've just interrupted them, and you've lost. They don't want to talk to you anymore. What about ones we've said in the helpful? I know there's other ones that I heard you guys say that are not up there.
It's like tell a trusted adult or a hotline.
Very good. Hotlines, trusted adults. Sometimes it's hard for us to go to people and say, even as a friend, this happened to my friend Roy. But if we have a hotline, you're not talking directly with a person. You're still getting that help, but they're just listening. They can't judge you. Like we said, don't judge.
Sometimes it's tough to tell your friend what's right because you know they don't want to know what's, you know what I mean? Like they don't want to know what's right because they don't want to do that.
They don't want to hear.
But you want to do what's best for them.
Mm-hmm. So, going to this hotline also might help. It's a anonymous person. Caitlin, do you have any other ones? So these are some rules and guidelines that we can follow. Every situation is going to be a little bit different, but these are kind of the broad things that you should follow in all of them. Don't you agree? This time? Thank you,
Yeah.
man. Alright. So, Caitlin, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You have very neat handwriting and you spelled great.
I think there's a couple errors on it.
It's alright. I probably would have done better than me. So we have one more sheet. You have one per group because sit the ground. We like to share. We don't like to waste paper. So everyone's gonna have to look at them. This one. So using these sheets, can I hand this to you? Matt, can I hand this to you? This is called. I think somebody has the top of it. You do. Alright, what will he or she do? Using these guidelines and rules, can we answer the questions on the bottom and analyze these situations? Yes? Yes? Sal, would you like to help your group? Oh, there it is.
Jasmine over here is just she'll allow us to say we'll do Jasmine, we'll do.
Maybe Sarah and Jake like each other.
I'm gonna come back. Thank you so much.
Yeah. What if they've hooked up before? I can see how it could be like for your
If Chris was
workplace.
uncomfortable
I
about
guess
it.
Mr. Edmund would be a teacher.
But if Chris was just like, was friendly, pat on the back, pat on the
I
side.
mean, Jake.
On the back.
It's true though, like temporary.
Yeah, but it's like,
Even if it's not over, it's big.
that,
She
I
could
mean,
be
they
like,
might laugh at his comment.
she would be like,
but
hey,
it's curse.
I don't know.
Is
I
this from
think
the-
it makes a
yeah.
difference.
Rude.
I don't know.
well, does Chris feel uncomfortable?
No, it's Jake that feels uncomfortable.
For some reason, but
No, not Chris. Don't feel uncomfortable.
No.
Chris feels uncomfortable about what he saw.
Yeah.
Or does Jake feel uncomfortable about what?
I don't think so. So I don't think it should be.
Do we all grab the phone too? Yeah, we know them right.
Oh, we told him. We told him.
You said it, and he wrote it down.
Chris, stop keeping other people's stuff.
I know.
That's really sad.
Why? I have ones from all high school.
7th grade? You were what?
Alright,
11?
can we bring it back together?
13.
Is everyone done? We need a couple more minutes.
We're done.
So we started with you last time. How about your group? Do you want to read your scenarios first this time?
Go ahead, Pete.
Sarah walks over to Jake and begins talking to him slowly and puts her hand on his thigh. After they are done talking, Chris tells Jake that he should say something to Sarah because that is inappropriate. Jake ignores Chris and tells him that she is just friendly. What do you think Chris will do? Why? Or what do you think Chris will do? Why? Yeah.
What'd you say?
You said that Chris kind of needs to chill out. It's just because Chris thinks that was inappropriate, but Jake says he doesn't really care.
So you put it. So if you're talking to Matt and you put your hand on his leg, it's not inappropriate.
I'm not saying that, but like, what if?
But isn't
like,
that exactly what happened?
But what if they like each other?
Well, he said it was friendly. I don't know.
I think it's all
I think it's
Matt.
yeah.
I
If Matt
think
feels
so too.
uncomfortable, then it's Matt's.
Right. He should say
And
something
Matt
to
would
Sarah
say
if he
something.
feels uncomfortable.
Or even say it to Jake that
so
he
Matt
felt uncomfortable about it.
Jake should take it into his own hands. Chris should just butt off.
No, I think it's good that he was looking out for his friend and he said something and like acknowledged the action of the hand on the thigh. But I don't.
But it said Jake ignored it and said it was just friendly, so he wasn't uncomfortable about it.
Do you think Sarah's in the wrong?
I think that I don't know. I think it depends on Sarah and Jake's relationship. Like, what if Sarah likes Jake? Or
But what if Jake
likes
doesn't like Sarah?
What if you touch?
Then he should say something if he felt it was inappropriate.
Sal, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say it also depends on the touch. Like
Where on the thigh?
Yeah, was it like a knee? Or was it like
Where was it?
We're gonna show that.
Do you think the touch makes a difference?
Yes.
So we have good touch, bad touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I agree. I mean, I think Jake should say something. I completely agree with you, Sam. If Jake feels uncomfortable, he should say something. I think Chris was in the right. He should have.
I do too.
Who do you guys have?
Sheila.
Sheila.
Mr. Edmund says to Sheila that her butt looks nice in her jeans today. Jasmine overhears and tells Sheila that she should say something. Sheila laughs and says that he's only kidding. What do you think Jasmine will do and why? We said that Jasmine might continue trying to tell her to do something because that was an inappropriate joke, and he's the teacher, obviously, in the situation, and shouldn't be.
Oh, is the teacher?
Like that. I mean,
Mr. Edmund. Yes.
Mr. Edmund,
Oh.
the teacher. And I mean, if she doesn't say anything, then Jasmine might pick up and go say something on her own. She thinks if it doesn't stop her.
Jasmine should tell an appropriate figure that Mr. Edmund is making inappropriate comments. Yeah. So, believe stepping in, supporting your friend. All rules and guidelines we talked about. Any comment for this one? You agree? Judge shares.
Alfonso makes a rude comment about Nikki's skirt in front of the class. Victor is Nikki's friend. Most of the kids in the class are laughing and trying to get Victor to join in. What do you think Victor will do and why? And we said he might laugh because of the peer pressure of all the other kids laughing in class, or he might stick up for Nikki because they're best buds.
Do you think it's inappropriate Victor laughs? Victor's her friend.
Yeah, I think it would be wrong, but everyone else doing it might make him feel like he should do it or something.
You should step in.
Yeah.
Has anyone seen this happen?
Yeah.
Did you step in and do anything? Or did you laugh?
Probably laugh.
How do you think that makes your friend feel?
Horrible.
Matt, I heard you say yes before.
What?
You've seen this happen?
Yeah.
You say yes? Did you help your friend?
No. I left.
It's a common reaction to laugh, but don't laugh?
I don't know.
You feel what?
I don't know. So it's a male friend of a girl that get made fun of. I feel like in all the situations I've had, it's just one of my guy friends that gets made fun of. So I just feel kind of different.
Someone's getting made fun of. Shouldn't gender not matter? Didn't we decide that in the first activity?
Gender shouldn't matter when it comes to like assault.
But harassment, it doesn't matter. These are all harassment.
That was a joke.
I think it depends on the situation.
So everything depends on the situation?
Yes.
And the comment, maybe?
Yeah. Like the way it was made and how it made the other person feel.
So if Nikki was laughing, it'd be okay to laugh? The girl who was made fun of. Maybe I'd get a chuckle? But what if Nikki's uncomfortable laughing? Should stand up for her friend. Yeah. You'd stand up.
So I would stand up.
What about you, Jim?
Yeah, I mean, if she felt uncomfortable about it, if you could like see that she was uncomfortable, I'd say something. But if she like didn't care, like kind of laughed it off, then
You want to say anything?
probably not.
Yeah, I guess it depends how like she reacts to it.
So, for these rules and guidelines, our first situation was abuse. These are harassment. These rules and guidelines, do you think they can kind of go for both? Yeah?
Yeah, it looks like.
So, if a friend comes to you with apprehension about harassment or abuse, do you think you should help them? Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, you say yes? Everyone agrees yes? Why?
If they have like a gut feeling that there was something that wasn't right, then it probably wasn't right.
The friend. The friend has a gut feeling,
Yes.
or the person? The friend. What should you, in abuse or harassment situations, what should you always encourage your friend to do?
Get help.
Get help. What are some options for help? We didn't really discuss these, but
School counselor. Hotline.
Teacher.
parents. Did you ever go to another friend?
No. Like you?
Yeah, like if you told me, should I ever go and tell my other friend Molly?
Probably not.
Because what does that reach?
The trust.
Trust, confidentiality. Should seek an authority figure, because they can help more than another friend. So that's gonna end our lesson. Next class, we will also continue with sexual harassment, but we're gonna be talking about rape.